My question is
Girl,
this.
talk up, girl. Don't get shy now.
My name is Shalina, and my question is, my husband decided to get someone pregnant. I decided to divorce and let him have her. Was I wrong to bust all in his face the night before their wedding?
Welcome back to my channel, guys. If this is your first time of seeing my channel, please do well to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this.
When you say bust, we mean
Yes, you know just.
hold on, time out. Hold on, cause bust can mean a lot of things.
Yo.
Bust can because when we hold on, G Money, cause sometimes bust be like I punched him in the face. Are we talking about? Okay, all right. So where do we start here, Kira?
You had to come to me first.
Was she wrong for busting in his face?
Wait, did we get clarity though? We didn't get clarity.
Okay.
The clarity. What kind of bust? Like
Bust, spit splash.
Okay.
I think that here's the hard part about the whole situation. Whenever you in a situation where you could one up somebody like, yeah, that's why I busted in his face the day before the wedding, it ain't gonna stop him from marrying her though.
Oh no, it didn't stop him from cheating throughout their marriage.
But what should have stopped you from giving him access to your sweet nectars, my love? A man that play with me can't have a conversation with me, let alone taste anything around these parts. I need you to have tossing and turning nights remembering what I taste like because you'll never taste it again. And you let him play with you, disrespect your marriage, leave you, have a child, get engaged, get married to the side chick, and still have access to you. You should have been such a distant memory to him that it was tearing him up, or you don't even care what it's doing to him because you done moved on so much with your life. I think that whatever you was hoping to achieve by, yeah, that's why I nutted on your face, what does that mean for somebody that likes to eat coochie? He had a blast. He got to eat you out and go get married the next day. He didn't lose nothing.
He did all that. Now let me say this. This happened in my late 20s, early 30s. At 52, he wouldn't have a chance in hell.
Talk to him.
Cause when you were talking, I was like, cause I said the same thing. Maybe he just like eating coochie.
That's the equivalent to women that say stuff like, oh, he played in my face, so I fucked his friend. What did the friend or the man lose? They got the fuck.
True. Lance, what's up?
no, I mean, if that was your closure, handle your scandal.
What? What?
If that was her closure, if that's what she needed to be gone, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Toxic Ace is gonna say it wasn't her business, or was it? Because technically they wasn't married yet. Was it her business to care about his relationship?
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Because listen, because what I'm saying is, it was his business.
like Ray J.
If she wanted her nut,
like Ray J, she had him
I'm
first.
sorry, 'cause I was lost for a minute. I just chimed in because I thought when she said busted like fist, you was talking about something else.
no, she was talking about something else.
Baby, y'all play too much. Okay, let me talk to it for me. Lord have mercy, Jesus. You serious too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here's my thing. This is. How long ago was this?
More than 20 years ago.
So, were you trying to get back at him or her?
Neither.
I think she wanted to. I think she wanted her nut. Yeah, she
I
wanted
think that was
the
for
head.
her.
That was her favorite.
It was her
eater.
closure.
That's what they say. Hey, ladies, you ever had a favorite eater before? It's just like, hold on, how you gonna steal my favorite eater? I just want to borrow.
do you
She
live?
needed that thing one more time.
One more time.
One more time.
Because here's the thing: once she would have got married, once he would have got married officially, then now she can't get that taste no more. So she did it at the very last moment, right before the pastor said, "Speak your piece." And so what I'm saying is that wrong? Is it wrong for her to have done that?
I don't think it's wrong, but I think he still won.
Oh, he definitely still wants me to this day.
Wait. He still won because just like I say, if I can still get your ass to argue, I got you. If I can get you frustrated, I got you. If I can get you to have an emotional reaction, I got you. If I can get you to open your fucking legs and climb on top of my face, I got you. So again, you're still moving by the beat of my drum, and that's what go back to what bro was saying. The get back, like you be thinking it's get back, but it's just showing that I can still reach out and grab your ass and puppet string you whenever I want to. Because when you really over me, there will be a sense of indifference. You won't give a fuck about my new marriage or my new relationship or whatever, because you done moved on to some shit that you're currently enjoying. But if you still clocking me and still tracking what I'm doing and still, okay, let me just get this get back, I got your ass.
I don't think it was about him. I think it was just closure for her to be able to be like, you know, he was up in this pussy the night before his wedding.
I think
that's a nice trophy in your collection.
But what happens when we sit in that spirit of revenge? What does it do for you if he still got married? You sitting there 20 years later, like, yeah, I did this. He still got married. And until we sit in our truth and acknowledge what really happened, it wasn't just as simple as a lick back, right? Because this was your husband first. Your husband broke up your marriage by cheating on you, got someone else pregnant, and instead of him deciding, I'm going to fight for my wife, he accepted divorce, married the other woman. So whatever we say surrounding that, we could make all of the jokes of, oh yeah, I just wanted the revenge, but it was a piece of you that wanted a lick back ain't gonna do what you was really looking for.
She got a lick back.
Can I ask something? So this was when you were in your 20s or your 30s. You asked this question. So do you feel guilt about it? Do you feel bad? Like, why did you ask the question?
I honestly just wanted to know. I don't feel any guilt. I don't feel no remorse. I feel like, fuck her. That was my husband, and that's on her dumb ass.
You miss him, huh?
But it should be fuck him, though.
You miss him.
Well, fuck him too.
And that's where the problem come in. Because the mission that you set out on to get revenge against her, he still won.
But it wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about revenge.
One more question, one more contextual question. And this is, I think, briefly, before we move on. Right now, we talked a lot about her because obviously she's on the mic, and I think we gave her, we kind of solid on where she's standing. But do dudes do that the day before they get married? Is that
Yes. Niggas do it all. We've been on tour for 6 years, and you've seen all the questions we get. These niggas do everything. Just when you thought these niggas wouldn't do it on that microphone, niggas done it.
That's wild.
But at the same time, I don't think every crash out is a super crash out. I think some of these are calculated crash outs. Crash outs that only prove that energy is never destroyed, it's just transferred. And sometimes when a motherfucker causes a little chaos in your life, you could be healed. You remember there was a nigga that stole my lunch in the 10th grade. I saw him 25 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you. Because I don't think you were crying your eyes out hoping that he wasn't going to walk down the altar. You were just like, you know what? I could probably put my pussy on this nigga mustache the night before. I bet he come. Watch him come. And he came. Good for you. And we need more of that. We need more of these calculated crash outs to shake some shit up in the universe. I don't care. Calculated.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for your question.
The wife gonna see this episode.
I know, like, hold on, time out.
The day before our wedding, you just broke up the marriage. Mission accomplished.
Side note, while we get into other questions to the mic, I think that it's more common than we think that people, and I'm not even gonna say men, I'm gonna say people, use that day before they get married to act like it's a get out of jail free card. I can do whatever I want.
Or that bachelorette party in Vegas that you done ran into at Drace on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the girl there with all her girls, she got the crown on and all of these things. And all of a sudden, it's a lot less boundaries.
Hey, but if you got to do it the day before, you are not ready to be married.
I agree.
That's wild.
I agree. Yep. So ladies, no more dick sickles at your bachelorette party. Getting sick of this shit. Please, no more. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Delandia, and my question is, Do you think when you are separated, you should date other people?
Kitty?
I'm so disappointed in y'all for screaming out yes like that. No, I believe you should not, and I'm gonna talk about why. The reason why I feel like you should not be dating when you are separated is because separation creates a lot of emotional confusion. On top of that, when you start introducing new people into your life, you introduce a lot of other things as well. You introduce jealousy and distractions and things like that. And then if there's a possible chance of you reconciling, now you've introduced that into your marriage. So long as you are married, you are still accountable to that person and the things that you do. And even though people say we're not going to get back together, if you're not going to get back together, then just divorce. And I understand that separation and stuff like that, there is a time. But in that process, you also have to think about, how would I feel if this person is dating other people as well? How would I actually feel about this? Also, am I willing to introduce these new things into my life and possibly into that person's life? It's a lot of married people that I've worked with. I've worked with a lot of married couples. And I can tell you, a lot of them say, we never gonna get back together. And they get back together. Because you never know what God is gonna do in your marriage to begin with. You never know. We make decisions. Now let me take it there. You don't wanna hear it, I don't care. One thing that I can tell you the enemy is good at is division. The enemy causes separation and division in a marriage to begin with for a reason. If he can isolate one person he's in, y'all seen it when it came to Adam and Eve. He didn't go to Adam and Eve. He went to Eve first. If I can get you in your most vulnerable state alone, not as a unit, I can tear y'all apart. But if I have you as a unit, it's harder for me to break you down. As Nate said the other day, I'm so glad I saw that video, as he talked about the threefold cord. Let's just speak that way. God, husband, wife. It is a reason. In the Garden of Eden, God was still there, but they had free will. They were disobedient. When people separate, a lot of times it's because they're disobedient to the order that God has designed for marriage to begin with. God brought marriage into creation, and we have to remember that. I'm a married woman. There's no separation between me and my husband. We made vows in the head of God. We talked about what we were going to do. And if for any reason the devil tries to come in and destroy our marriage and separate us, then we have a responsibility individually to take it back to God so he can restore our marriage. So we have to be mindful of what we bring in. Also, if you have children and you separate, remember the spirits that you bring in from the people you lie with can come down into your bloodline as well, to your children as well. So we have to remember that there is a covering that we're responsible for when it comes to marriage. But I don't know if this is marriage or a relationship, so maybe I took it a little too far. But that's my take.
It was marriage, right? Separated in the marriage, right?
Yeah, I know somebody that it was a debate between me and a family member.
Okay, Trill, AC.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this, baby. We done walked down that aisle. It ain't no such thing as separation. This is what it boiled down to. Now, we all need a break here and there. Now, you can break your ass upstairs. You can break your ass in the den. You can break your ass in a car that's in the driveway. But you ain't breaking your ass nowhere that's too far away from me, because we took vows and you my wife and I'm your man, and we gonna work this shit the fuck out. Because that's what we signed up for. Because when you open that door for break, and open that door for, okay, let's entertain some other shit, now external factors are getting into our marriage, and that's going to jeopardize what it is that we built. So again, I'm not against a break, but break your ass upstairs until we figure this out.
Okay. Now, period, breathe, you guys are right. Cool. But sometimes we hear now, and it sounds like in this debate, somebody is saying, you know what, whatever has happened, I believe is not reconcilable, and I'm going my separate ways. We have separated, and a lot of times you have to be separated in some states for a year or so before you can even get divorced. Or maybe there's a process, it's a legal process in that divorcing, but that person in their heart has divorced their husband. Now, whether or not we agree with that, we be here now.
You also have to remember that some people use dating as a way to avoid grief.
Exactly.
And so there is a grieving process, and a lot of times in 6 months, you can't grieve what you have for a long time. You need more time with yourself. So when we're introducing new people, and we also have to be mindful of if we're using those people as a way to avoid the grief that we have to go through. But I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people are not using it for that reason. Wait until the ink dries before you decide to start dating other people.
My concern is y'all make it seem like the marriage is over when the paperwork is signed by the people that wasn't in the house with y'all. The marriage is over when that thing happens to throw the marriage over. Whether or not the city of St. Louis got time to sign and acknowledge my shit, my marriage is over when somebody inside the marriage betrayed the marriage. And at this big age, I don't have the time or the luxury to allow myself to think about why somebody had me fucked up. And just like a lot of times we don't use the same logic that we use in other areas of our life. It's like we get in these relationships and the shit just don't be logical. And I got proof. When you get fired, do you find a new job? When your lease is up, do you find a new crib? When the dick is trash, do you finish with the rose? That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
All right, thank you for your question. All right, cool. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Vivian. My question is, how can I fully submit or mentally prepare a man who is immature or not quite mentally on a grown-up level for a good relationship or a good God-fearing woman?
How can I fully submit? Is that like, how can I, like, ain't no fucking way? Or he's a good man, Savannah, so let me go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? And I know everybody about to jump in, but I'm gonna ask you a question. And this is to the women and to the men, but I'm talking to you. How can you fully submit in a place where it's not safe? When there is not a know-how, where there's not direction, where there's not stewardship, where this man is not a servant of a family, when this man has not shown you first by his actions that he has the capability to lead and shield you from not just the world, but from himself. Oftentimes you will find men that will protect you from every which way but their own anger, or their own unfaithfulness, or their own lack of discipline. This man is the storm inside your house, and you asking how you can submit to that? What I'm saying is sometimes you ain't got a I can't submit problem. You got a I found the wrong nigga to submit to problem. And when you have to ask these questions, how can I build him up? God made you a queen. He gave you a crown, not a construction hat. That man did not give you a tool belt.
Amen.
That man gave you high heels, not steel toe boots. But here you are getting on your hands and feet, trying to Humpty Dumpty a man back together again. All I'm saying is, you will feel it naturally for a man that's in his masculinity and leading the right way. And for all the men in here that's about to look at me sideways, no, you know it's true. You know there's points in your life when you had to argue back and forth with a woman about what you wanted her to do because your actions didn't influence her to naturally do it for you. But when you got your house in order, your life in order, your maturity in order, you came emotionally safe, now she wants to. It happens. When something happens, she looks at you and you earned that. What I'm saying is, find a man that already is. And if you got a building, that man ain't. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Before y'all go, can I just ask how old you are and how old this man is?
We're both 26.
Babies.
That's cute. I know, right?
Aww. Here's the thing. This may be controversial to say, but there's a lot of women that have a God complex. We look at men as projects for us to raise, mold, build, heal, reach their next levels. Baby, that is not your job. You are not God. You're asking questions that's not for you to ask because that's not your ministry. You don't have that power to do that for nobody. There's certain things that only God could take people through. God builds certain chapters in people's lives for them to go through to mature on their own. God leads people through certain lessons for them to learn through and become the best versions of themselves. We have a God complex that is within us as women to say, if I just love him enough, then I can lead him this way. If I support him enough, then I can push him that way. It's manipulative when you think about it, because you're not doing it for the benefit of the man. You're doing it so that you can get the benefits out of the man he may become. If you love somebody, you love them while they're learning. You don't try to love them into their learning, because that's a form of control and manipulation. It's a God complex. It really is. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done it. I'm a full-on Leo, and I used to think I had the power within me. My love is so strong and passionate, I could lead you to your higher self. I am not God. I'm not. All I can do is exist in my fullness and support you in yours and let God do the work on you that he gonna do.
Hold on, one more thing, just quickly. And you don't know how to work a hammer. You don't.
I don't.
You don't know how to work a saw. You don't know how to move a nail. Nothing about you says construction. And when you, hold on, and what I mean by this is figuratively. We don't be knowing how to build people. And we be swearing we do, but we don't. And when we don't even have the skills to do this, because we think we love them, that's gonna magically give us skills to heal and build people, what do? What do you do when you work a hammer and you don't know how? You hurt your own self. Y'all handling broken people and wondering why you keep getting cut. You don't know. Half of us are only trying to heal other people because we ain't first healed ourselves. That's the reason you are drawn to this person. This person is not your leader, it's your distraction from the work you ain't did with yourself. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you gonna build somebody, build you. Because a healed version wouldn't have picked him in no damn place. All right, what's up?
Yeah, I just say this too, like, you can't submit to a nigga that you gotta help raise. And I think a lot of women be feeling like, I can love a nigga into being the man that I need him to be. And that's not reality. Like, when you run into a man that's actually meant for you, it's gonna be infrastructure set up for you to walk into. Not for you to walk into, as bro said, with a construction hat and a fucking hammer and a tool belt. No, the infrastructure is already going to be created. He's already going to be disciplined. He's already going to be decisive. He's already going to be forward thinking, all of these things. So if you got to make the decisions for him, if you got to set the boundaries for him, if you got to set the guidelines for him, what the fuck is the use of him being there? You might as well be by yourself.
Mike, what's up?
I'm sad.
Why?
You love him, don't you?
He's here.
He's here.
Oh shit! Oh! He's a good nigga.
See, so I
think. Okay, Mike.
I do.
What I've been witnessing is, I'll just go to the board, because I'm sad on the board too. But like, again, like, we've been traveling the world, and a lot of these questions are different than what they used to be even 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm getting more questions from women who are having trouble submitting to men, not because they can't provide financially for them, not because they can't protect them from a safety perspective, but it's because of maturity and emotions. Now, I don't know where you think we was as young black boys, but it wasn't working on maturity and emotional availability. Now, depending on how long you might have been with him, there might have been a version of you that didn't require that, but we also want to speak about the 26-year-old version of you that has that. But it sounds like you've probably been in a relationship with this man for some time, and as you improved, as you grew, what your desires for provision have grown. Now, that might have been growing in you, but the same way you might ask for provision in other ways, you didn't let them know about this new update, about the type of man. A lot of times women will watch our pod, they will read the quotes, they will take all of this information and learn that, damn, maybe love doesn't look the way it does, and then start expecting these things, but don't give the update to the nigga that be kissing in the mouth. And then it builds up so long that you get frustrated, because now you understand what emotional maturity is and safety is, and you realize that, you know what, maybe I don't want a nigga that'll spend about me, fuck me good, and give me something on the rent. Maybe I need more, but guess what? I didn't tell him until I got upset enough, and now I want to leave. You're not submitting to a human. You're submitting to a process. You're submitting to a future. You're submitting to the two of y'all becoming one, so you're really submitting to yourself. You're submitting to ego. You're submitting to pride. You're submitting to outside noise. And that's tough. And it cannot be answered based on what 5 or 6 people say to you for 30 minutes of your life. But I just want you to hear both sides of it because it's so important. And I think a lot of women are growing emotionally, but they're not really displaying that to their partners until it's too late, until they realize they want something different. And you might have a good man that might just need you to be a blender one day. He might need you to be a cutting board. Be scared of the relationships where you only got to show up as yourself. I don't understand what kind of relationships that you're going to be that you think you could just be one type of person. Or how long of a union can you build where you only have to be one thing? You're going to need to be flexible. I think of love, I think as two people with a tool bag that got everything that they can to fix this house. It can't always be masculine in that way or feminine in that way.
Kitty, what's up?
I ain't finna get nobody. You think you more mature than him?
Definitely.
How?
Well, mentally, emotionally, I feel like I'm more mature than him.
Speak up a little.
I got you.
Speak up a little louder, baby.
Because I feel like I can express like how I feel and my feelings, and I feel like I can keep our relationship within our home. I don't think he's able to do that.
Okay. So then tell me his immature characteristics then.
I feel like he relies more on his friends.
Y'all let her talk. Give her a second.
For like his emotions. Like he'll go back and forth. Like if he talks to me, if he talks to his friends, he'll feel 2 different ways based on who he talks to last.
You ain't giving me enough, baby. The reason why I ask you those questions is because a woman who is mature will never entertain an immature man. Never will. And I think right now you're looking at a mirror. That's what I feel is happening. You're maybe trying to find your way out of it, but you're looking at a mirror right now. I can tell you just based off how you answer that question, you are not emotionally or spiritually mature yet. You sure can't lead him. You can't submit to him because I'm not sure what it is that you submit to. You can't teach him anything because you still need to be taught as well. Who's teaching you? What life experiences are helping you mature? Y'all are in your 20s. In your 20s, you feel invincible. You think you have it all together. You don't have it all together in your 20s. Trust me. I think everybody who's beyond 20 can tell you that. You don't have it together. But I understand what you're saying. But let's just say that he is immature compared to you. You can't relax in a boy, as Trill was saying. Submission responds to something. As Ace was saying, submission responds to safety. But what if for a minute, you're not providing safety either? And that's the reason why you're getting the responses that you're getting from him. What if it was that way? You came to the mic. You told us y'all business. You said this man is here. You think that's mature? I want you to take some time to think about that, baby. I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to beat you. I promise you I'm not. I'm not trying to beat you, but I want you to take some time to look into the mirror. Because a lot of the things that we call out in other people are things that we need to call out in ourselves. So I think life experiences still need to help you mature right now.
Definitely.
Okay? That's it, baby.
Thank you for your question. Now, but can I say this to the young couple? And you and wherever he is. Listen, we ain't, even some of us in our mid-30s, 40s, and 50s ain't got it all figured out. 60, 70. And what I hope is this sparks real conversation in y'all relationship. Now, the one thing that I want to just counter on your topic is this. If a man doesn't want a woman waking up one day and deciding she has upgraded, so now the price has upgraded, then maybe, just maybe, he should have put a ring on it. And here's what I'm saying. Sometimes we be expecting this wife-like unconditional love, like you're supposed to give me all kind of chances because we in this for life. No, I didn't make you my wife. and this is outside of her situation, but like I've lost relationships, and sometimes I'm like, but damn, I'm salty about this. Why would she leave me? And I'm like, well, if I actually wanted her the way in which she wants to be wanted, I would have did something about it. And sometimes hold on, I know you doing all the, my thing is, when you're on your probationary period at your job, there are things you have to do. You cannot no call, no show during the probationary period. And sometimes what we do is we are giving people full-time access, full-time benefits during the probationary period. If this person can't show up the way you need for the job you are interviewing for, move forward, period. But when you start treating that man like he's your husband and he's barely your boyfriend, because she using the word submission for a boy. Now I get it. There's levels, but that's a deep connection married word. And we get into this thing with boyfriends and girlfriends. Just chill the fuck out. All right, just chill out a little bit. What's your name? What's your question?
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Kadan. This is a purely hypothetical question for the ladies of the panel. If you were a single man and you now had to look for a woman to be your wife/life partner, what type or types of women would you avoid?
I'm gonna sit my mic down.
Great question.
You want to go first?
I can go first. I think that for me, the same things that I avoid in men, I would avoid in a woman. I think that women, we take our safety so serious to the point that we watch how men handle their anger and we watch how they handle their aggression. So we avoid men that we feel like might put us in danger. I don't think men have the same stipulation because I watch a lot of men be in abusive situations that they don't even realize is abusive. I watch men be verbally abused and belittled. I watch men deal with women that break up their stuff. I watch men deal with women that are explosive and, oh, she just crazy, and y'all make jokes about it sometimes because y'all don't even realize that's dangerous. So I think that if I was a man, I would apply the same tools that I'm applying now as a woman. I need a woman that's safe. I need a woman that I can come and tell things and she don't throw it back in my face. I need a woman that I can come and lay my head on and she don't make me feel weak like I'm not being masculine enough for her. I need a woman that when she get mad, she knows how to use her words instead of her hands, and I ain't got to worry about bleach being sprayed about my house. The stuff that y'all settle for sometimes, there are a lot of men that are in domestic violence situations and I sit back and look like, what is happening? Because y'all don't even realize that y'all are in these abusive situations. So for me, I think the woman that I would choose would be safe.
That was good, girl. I feel like my list gonna be long. The type of woman that I would avoid, her characteristics. Oh my Lord, on today. One who's argumentative, one who doesn't know how to apologize, one who does not take accountability, one who cannot steward a relationship appropriately, one who does not respect me, one who does not show love to her friends and her family, one who does not know how to be a mother, one who does not know how to build a house as well. You can learn how to cook. You can learn how to clean. You can learn how to put some pictures on your wall because I need you to make it a home. One who judges me. Because when I come to you, I want to know that when I communicate with you, I will not be judged, so I will feel safe. Because that's what emotional safety is. One that I can trust. Can I trust you with my life experiences? Can I trust you with my journey? One, if you don't add to my fruition, I'm avoiding you. Pretty much. Baby, you're kind of telling on women. I am too. Because you just told a man to stay single. But these are the very women in the audience who want a man. So the things that I'm listening, because I don't know who you are, baby, but the things that I'm listening right now are the things that I'm pretty much telling women you need to work on. If you want a relationship, if you don't, stay single. Because the same thing that we tell men we want to be safe and we want to be secure. You think they don't want the same thing? That's a basic human need. I couldn't imagine being a man coming to a home and a woman's always arguing with me. What? I got to deal with the world and you mean to tell me my home is not my safety? I got to come to a home with 4 white walls while you going out and having brunch with your girls, but you can't put pictures on a wall. You can't make it homey. You won't even build a basic skill of cooking. You can go out to McDonald's, you say, well, I just don't cook. Well, maybe you can learn. For a moment, make it homie. You don't even pray right. What you talking about? We always talking about submission, but you don't submit to nothing. That's the reason why you so irresponsible, why you so responsive, why you always going back and forth. That's the reason why you so immature, because you don't submit to nothing but yourself and Instagram. I wouldn't want to be with a woman who's always on Instagram unless it's your job. I can't be with a woman who always wants attention. I can't be with a woman who prioritizes her friendships over me. Yeah, your friendships are important, but remember that I'm important as well, because we building something. I can't be with a woman who lacks ambition. I can't be with a woman who don't know how to carry the weight as well, because it may be some days I always want to talk about 50-50 and 100-100. There may be a day where I face life. I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to do everything else. And today I can't present it as 100%. You cool with me trying to love you at this very little capacity that I have, but I'm still extending my love. Are you going to be graceful? Can you extend me mercy? I can't be with a woman who's not forgiving, because I'm a human and I'm going to make mistakes. And this ain't about cheating. One day I may be angry because of life outside of you, and I may be irritable when I come to you and it has nothing to do with you. Can you forgive me though, baby? I can't be with that type of woman. Those are the things I would not be able to be with.
Thank you. I love it.
And what's yours?
Man, I'm single, 40, no kids. I got an 800 credit score. I believe in God. No felonies. I got a passport, okay? I'll be at my merch table.
Here, you got a catchphrase?
Well, before I started therapy, I used to be like, my name is Kara J, the professional male basher. Can I get a fuck these niggas?
All right, let's continue with the show. What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and this is the Tonight's Conversation. Oh shit! This is how I fuck up my own shit. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and this is the Tonight's Conversation podcast, live in Chicago. Make some noise! We got our first question at the mic. What's your name? What's your question?
My name Raphael, and my question is, why do women expect?
Hey, talking to the mic. Why you being shy?
I gotta get closer, man.
I feel like your question about to be on some bullshit too. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
My question is, why do women expect perfection out of man, but expect the man to accept their flaws?
Flaws like what type of flaws?
It could be anything. You know, I don't want to be specific because somebody might see this. So, you know.
Now, one more contextual question. Before we go further, do you really think that most women expect perfection from the men that they date? Is that what you really think?
We just heard about the girl that got the ass wiped and then still wasn't happy. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I think that most women be wanting.
Kira, what's up?
We be wanting y'all to accept our flaws as far as our attitudes and mood swings. Y'all be wanting us to accept y'all flaws as far as y'all cheating and shit like that. Cheating is not a flaw. Like, you know, I'm just working through some things. So what you mean by flaws specifically? Before you get to talking about why you can't just accept me as I am.
These are good points. What do you mean?
It could be like, it is like flaws, like attitudes or temperament about certain things. Like, you shouldn't get so upset about something that's so small or something that we could fix or talk it out. You should just have a conversation instead of going off the deep end type of.
But what's your flaws, though?
We feel like we didn't get an answer to what the fuck the flaws are.
Hey, Ace, that nigga in row 72, section 22B say help him. So we gonna help you. I think the thing about it is, we're speaking on flaws, and you just didn't name a single flaw. You named character. You named what a woman is.
I did that on purpose.
Okay. So correct me, please.
So a flaw like
say it with your chest.
He be cheating.
I don't be cheating. I'm a good guy.
All right, we got you.
Okay, a flaw, I would say, it's more, like I said, like temperaments. Like, always just mad at everything, acting like we can't.
What is your fucking flaw?
My flaw?
What is your flaw?
I would say my flaw is I'm probably not a highly emotional person. So I deal with things very direct. I don't talk around things. I'm gonna talk to you very.
All right, can I say this? Can I say this for you? And I'm gonna be real with you. I know we just had the ass wipe girl. We're not talking about this. That's not a name we should throw around lightly.
She's still in here.
Oh, she's still in here. Okay, anyway, back to the point. So, I feel differently, and I know the men in here about to call me a panderer, but I'm gonna just say it. I feel like most women ain't expecting enough from niggas. I feel like most women become a man's apologist, enabler. Most women vet on potential. I do not believe that it is a situation where men are expected to be perfect. I believe we have been conditioned by society to expect a man to have to grow into the relationship. I feel like a lot of women are dating incomplete men. So when you say this, I don't believe that to be true. Now, y'all gonna argue with me.
I definitely got to argue with you, gang. I can't let you get that one off. I honestly feel like most men are taught how to treat a woman. I feel like most women are taught what to expect from a man, right? So what I mean by that is that when you get the perfect man, a lot of women don't necessarily know how to show up for him because they had never been taught, hey, when you finally meet the great, yeah, I know you used to dealing with a lot of bullshit men that cheat on you and that don't communicate well and that neglect your ass and that treat you like an option and all of these things. But when you finally meet the man that actually you've been waiting on, a lot of women don't know how to show up for them, and it's not their fault. They hadn't necessarily been taught how to show up for a man. So I think what he speaks...
Bro, everything that you're saying is super valid for a different situation. This is one of them... This is, brother, I love you. Brother, I love you. But this is one of them, why you arguing from outside the club, you can't get in. Like Ace said, we see women know how to show up for their man. They show up in the courtroom. They show up at the bail bondsman. They show up at the funeral crying, jumping in the casket. They show up, but it's who they want to show up for. Now, granted, you seem to have some wits about you. Probably a little bit better than public school education. Maybe you read some books, summer camp, shit like that, Bible study.
A little bit.
This Chicago, bro. They not on that. Do you hookah? Do you reposado?
I got a bottle of reposado.
Do you got the lemon drop kit at the crib?
No lemon drop. No lemon
drops is crazy. Strike one. All right, we're gonna strike this nigga out real quick. Do you eat the yams? Are you a yam eater? 0 for 2. Get him out of here. I told you. I don't even know. I can find the third one.
Thank you for your question. We appreciate your question. Anybody else got anything to add here?
I think right vibe, wrong nigga.
I'm not mad at that.
Hey, it actually goes back to a conversation we was having not too long ago. And Trill actually pointed it out to me. He has a way of saying things that just resonate so well. He says there's different standards for different men. Depending on how much you actually like that man, changes how much you allow from said man. Hold on now. The answer might be they really just might not like you like that, bro. It's not that they expect perfection. It's certain things you will accept from a man who provides other things. You get what I'm saying? Like if you have an emotionally intelligent man, you might let him get away with not cleaning up after himself. But if you ain't finna accept a nigga who don't clean up after himself or brush his teeth, you get what I'm saying? You just ain't gonna take both. You feel what I'm saying? So different strokes for different folks.
Kitty, what's up?
Jesus have mercy. That was fun.
You're welcome.
No, actually, me and Demetria had this conversation. We talked about this yesterday. It is true that a lot of women do expect perfection out of men. I was one of those women. I was like that early on in my marriage, but it's because we're not everybody, not all women. A lot of women are conditioned and trained and programmed to believe that men have to be perfect. We done seen all of these Disney movies and stuff like that, Prince Charming and stuff like that. He was perfect. that's the way they portrayed him to be. And then also your aunties and the women in your life and stuff and all that, even the men would tell you that you need this kind of man, and they don't talk about the flaws that a man will actually have. I can speak to that point because I pedestalized my husband, and he's the one that had to tell me I had to stop doing that. I used to call my husband my gold man because he was perfect in everything. He did everything perfectly. And the moment that he did something that offended me and hurt me, it seemed like my whole world just crumbled. And he told me, he said, baby, take me off that pedestal. He like, I'm a human. I'm going to make mistakes. So we do that. A lot of times as women, we live in fantasy worlds. And a lot of times it's just a way that we protect ourselves. If we can live in a fantasy world and tell ourselves that this man has to be perfect in this type of thing, then it prevents us from feeling and acknowledging the rest of his flaws and stuff like that. So it is some truth to that. Okay. So there is some truth to that, but I mean, honestly, it's just a lot of that is just reprogramming. That's something that honestly I had to do as well. But let me just go ahead and say this too. We ain't always saying that y'all have to accept every single one of our flaws. We ain't always trying to say that. And we're not always trying to paint ourselves to be perfect. Some women do. But some women don't. Some women, we want you to see us as humans, and we want to see you as human as well. So it's not that we always want to see you as perfect.
Kira, did you have something? Oh, okay. I agree.
Man, go.
I'm going to let it go. Okay, I'm going to go. No. I've seen women pour so much into men, and they only be asking for the bare fucking minimum in return. And so that's why I'm so fucking angry. Nigga, I gave you children. I stayed by your side. I believed in your vision. When you needed something, I provided not just sweat equity, I gave you money. I defended you to my family. And nigga, you can't come home at night? You can't send a text? And that's where the anger come from. It'd be like, hold on, I overstand. I overgive, I overpour. And here's the thing. Instead of finding a man that does all those things back to you, you would accept a man if he just did the bare minimum. And so I seen from my eyes, and again, maybe it's an experience shapes. When you see healthy relationships, I get that. When we talking about a lot of women that come to this mic, it is a lack of expectation that is a problem. When you keep giving people that don't deserve a chance, that's why we go to what you said. You are just not for her, bro. This is not you. Because oftentimes I feel like women settle. Now, again, I understand where you're coming from. I do understand that, but I don't know. But anyway, before we go further, hold on. But before we go further, hold on. Let me see. Before we go further.
Yeah. Hold on, Lace.
Hold on. Not them gearing up. You hear? They start their engine.
Hey, they over here clearing their throats and shit.
So listen. All the way from Oakland, California. Hey, yo. Make some noise for Lance! Yeah! Hey, yo. Shout out to you, bro. Like, real talk, shout out to you.
Man, shout out to you. When I tell you I'm fresh off the flight.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Damn.
Hey, yo. I appreciate it. I
appreciate you. I ain't got no code or nothing.
I know, right? Yeah. All right, let's get this. What's your name? What's your question?
My name's Steven. What's up with y'all? You love y'all podcast. I just started following y'all the SHIT. My question is, as a single man who doesn't have any kids, why do we catch criticism for not wanting to commit to a woman who has kids?
Kira, what's up?
Okay, so here's the thing. It's not that y'all catch criticism from not wanting to date a woman who has kids. It's that because when you don't want to date this woman who has kids, you interfere with other people wanting to date her and try to push the narrative that if she's not your type, she shouldn't be anybody else's type too. We never get mad when anybody talks about the things that they like. It's when the conversation becomes that nobody should want to be with y'all single mothers, do we start getting the backlash, right? Because if you don't want to date women with kids, guess what? Don't date women with kids. But the conversation is never geared towards who you actually want to date. It's always the energy pushed back towards the women that you don't find appealing because you can't understand why other people would.
Now, clap
Can I
it
say
up.
one more thing too? I've tried them too.
You tried them?
Tried them.
What's the problem? First of all, think about carefully the words you about to say.
I've tried them.
Why don't you like dating single moms?
I got one arm already. Okay. I've tried them for different reasons. They're not bad people at all. Let me say that right now. They're not bad people. Same way I'm not for somebody else, they just not for me. I tried it. They say don't knock it till you tried it. I tried it. I didn't like it.
Why?
Because you know what? It was a lot of responsibility. I was like, you know what? Am I built for this? And I was like, no, I'm not built for it.
All right. This nigga's crazy, right? So listen, before we let him do this to himself, Lance, I'm gonna toss you a very softball question here to get you warmed up. Do you feel like some men get demonized for their preferences, though?
I do. You know, I feel like women can have a laundry list of preferences, but as soon as we say one or two, it's like, you know what I'm saying? We in the dirt.
You're crucified.
But I will say, women with kids, they soft, bro.
They are. I agree.
They're a little softer.
I agree.
Reconsider, bruh. You might miss out on your blessing.
Hey, I got a brother right now. I got a 4-year-old niece, and I got a 3-year-old nephew. My brother right now, he just told me, bro, if I could do it again, I'd be with you right now. I wouldn't do it. He'd do it over again if he had a chance to. The first time.
So let
we
me
all want to get it right the first time.
let me say this to you. Everybody, because I know what they're about to do to you.
I do too, man. I get it all the time. That's why I ask the question. I already know.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Only
This
got
ain't
one arm, y'all.
about.
Don't kill me.
Listen, this ain't even about bashing you.
Okay.
This ain't saying that you not
It
a
need
real.
to be.
Hold on, no, hear me out. This ain't me saying you ain't a real man if and a real man would. This is me saying shout out to the men that step up where other men stepped out.
I'm with you.
Shout out to the men that see the value in you as well as that life. Shout out to the men, because without those men, where would I be? There are so many boys that needed that guidance in that direction, and there's a man that loved their mama so much they loved them too. They showed up for them. Let me tell you this. I'm glad you disqualified yourself, because single moms ain't for every man. You got to have a certain level of responsibility, character, and intention. Let me tell you something. Single moms scare off men without motherfucking intention.
Mike, don't do that, Mike. You don't want no baby mama.
I know. Mike, what's up?
I'm joking.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, man, take me to 63rd or some shit. Free Dirk, something. We 0 for 2 on the real niggas on the question department. As a man to man.
I got you.
A lot of times you're gonna internalize this rejection that you receive because you might not be capable of being what a woman with a child needs.
You're right.
But instead of bro. the weight of being a provider of a child is 10 times more of that than another functioning adult. And you don't have the authority to even play with that. What you do inside of your own crib on the west side, I'm assuming it's the west side.
South side, south side, south side.
Oh, these are south side niggas.
Listen.
These are south side niggas.
Inglewood.
Thank you for your question. Thank you.
Wait.
Hold on, Kitty. Hold on, come back.
Come back to that microphone.
You better come get this ass whooping, nigga.
Hey, I only got one arm. You lucky now.
Well, I'm gonna talk to you with your one arm. I don't know.
Talk to me, Kitty.
I like that. let me say this, because I've been a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
We don't be worried about y'all. Let me say that first. Let me preface by saying that first. Y'all be summoning us, because y'all be getting up in them comment sections and talking about us. When we be posting our kids and stuff, or when we post a man who actually wants us, y'all jump in the comment sections and call this man a simp and start antagonizing him. So then we don't have no choice but to start talking about it. Your preference is your preference. We don't care. Quite frankly, you probably shouldn't be a stepdad. You may not qualify for that. Thank you for disqualifying yourself, like he said earlier. However, it's not, I promise you, it don't be an issue. It be y'all having those conversations and bringing us into it that be an issue. We want men who want to be men who can take care of kids. We cool with that. But y'all be making these reels and red pilling and doing all that other stuff and kumbayaing with other miserable men and stuff and all that, talking about stuff like that. Y'all be bringing us up. That's what the issue be. Go get your knockoff. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do what it is that you want to do. If you want to be with a woman who don't got kids, that's cool. We ain't even tripping about you. It be those men that be tripping about you. It be them other guys that be tripping. So talk to them men. I promise you the women ain't tripping about y'all. We be being loved by these men.
Kitty,
So
I kid you not. We get destroyed. I'm telling you, I get criticism all the time.
No. Man, stop the cap.
I do.
You get rejection, nigga. Criticism and rejection are two totally different things.
Hey, I take rejection all day long. That's level.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what happened to your arm, so I ain't even gonna speak on that. But let me say this real quick. I ain't even
going to my
there.
birthday.
Man, I can tell you one of those guys when you under the influence, you be running at your mouth. I can tell you one of those people. I know you are. I can tell by the way he talk. I can tell by the way he came up to that microphone that he be the main guy, the main corporate talking about, you don't need to be with a woman who got kids, yaga, yaga, yaga. And then you get mad when they come at you. Like, stop the cap, matey.
I just be saying they not my preference. That's all I say.
Hold on, are you your type?
That's all I say.
Date your type. I guarantee you though, I don't be all over line. Shout out to my husband, but even before my husband, you didn't catch me online talking about what my preference was. It's my preference. Why I gotta explain it to the world? Why I gotta explain it to anybody else?
Well, because his preference don't want him. Because if your preference wanted you, you wouldn't even care about what your non-preference wanted. Like,
it was just a question. Just a question.
I mean, I'm just saying. No, I get it.
It's a question.
You think about it now. You go ahead, sit back down. You think about this shit.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, listen. Before we get to the last question of the night, I want to say this to everybody in the room. Thank y'all so much for sticking around for us. All right? The one thing I know Lance didn't want to do, we didn't want to do, was to let y'all go home without at least being able to engage, okay? And I want y'all to understand, show business is a messy business, and this man coming straight off the plane, I just really want y'all to chop it up one more time.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad I made it.
What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, I'm Daphne. How do you rebuild trust in yourself after you've stayed in a situation longer than you should have, even when your spirit was telling you to move differently?
Lance, let me ask you this question. Do you feel like you overstayed in a relationship before?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But, I follow my heart, and I feel like, if it was a mistake, it was a mistake that I was supposed to make because it made me stronger. And now I move a lot different than I did when I was in that situation and younger. You know what I'm saying? So, I always say follow your heart. Sometimes you got to follow your gut, but over that, follow your heart. That's the way I move. That's the only thing I could recommend to anybody. Follow your heart.
I say this, bro. I say like learning how to forgive yourself is the main thing. Like we be forgiving to everybody except ourselves. We be forgiving to the partner in the relationship that did us wrong. We be forgiving to the family member that did us wrong. We be forgiving to everybody else except ourselves. We not perfect. We not. And that's perfectly okay as long as you learn from it. I feel like at the end of the day, bro, like if you can't go through something and take the lesson from it, then you wasn't going through it the right way. And in that type of situation, it's like, okay, boom, the writing was on the wall, but we didn't necessarily learn from it the way that we should. Can't blame that person, can't blame the situation, but as long as we learn from it, and as long as we don't repeat the same mistakes, then we better off. That's just my take.
I got one more question for you, just to the point that you were just speaking on. Since you overstayed in a relationship, after that relationship ended, did you struggle to trust your own judgment when making decisions in the dating field after that?
No, I felt I was a lot sharper.
Okay.
Like you said, learning from your mistakes, I learned from that mistake, and I knew that I would never overstay no situation like that again. So I immediately learned from it. Just came out sharper.
Can I add this part? Because I definitely understand where he's coming from. Because I can relate, but then I can also relate the other way, right? Because I just had an epiphany the other day. You know how you just scroll through and accidentally see a picture of a motherfucker you used to fuck with? And you be like, how the fuck I let them play my ass? Like, you be like, how the fuck? And then you realize to yourself that it was your love you had for them that had you fucked up, not the love they had for you. And I think the discipline part in our hearts is realizing that it is the dreams and the ideas we placed on them that they didn't consent for. It is the familiar nature, the comfortability that we wanted to stay in that we missed. It ain't even the real them we missed. It's the caricature that we created in our minds. Because I'm going to tell you this, once that lust or trauma or whatever kept y'all together, because it wasn't really genuine love, once that fade, you look at that person and be like, ugh. Ugh. And what you learn is this. Nah, it ain't even, let me tell you this. It ain't even just the sex, right? Like it is, let me be very clear with y'all. I've lived long enough, and a lot of you guys have too, because it's the auntie show. I know y'all a little older than me. I've lived long enough to know that chapters end. The biggest pain I've experienced is not the chapter ending. It's me refusing to turn a page. There are people that you are going to share moments with, and while you were sharing it, it could have been beautiful, it could be chaotic, whatever the fuck it was. But we got to realize that moment no longer serves you and I have to turn the page. And when you get more familiar with doing that, turn a page on that relationship and that hurt and that disappointment and the happiness and the joy, because it was a whole bunch of both, right? You got to turn that page because you can only write stories on new pages. And I hope you're as excited about that as you are rereading those pages that no longer serve you. Kira, did you have something?
Yes, that was all on point. But I think that it's a process the same way that we treat other people, we have to learn how to treat ourselves, right? When someone does something to break your trust, you don't just automatically start trusting them again the next day. It's the apology that comes first. And after the apology is the change action. And a while after the change action showing consistency, you learn how to trust them again. It's no difference when we're talking about how to rebuild that trust that's internal. You have to apologize to yourself first, like he said. After you give yourself that apology, you have to start being consistent with your changed behavior. And over the time with the consistency of your changed behavior, you should start to trust your judgment and your discernment again enough to know how not to gaslight yourself. Because we talk a lot about other people gaslighting us, right? This person is trying to lead me through this. We gaslight ourselves way more than other people ever will, because you knew the truth in a lot of situations, but you start telling yourself that you're crazy and I'm making this up. When you start getting to the place of discernment over feelings, you will start trusting your own judgment better. So sit in that season, let yourself go through that process, apologize to yourself, give yourself the grace for not trusting your judgment initially, and use your changed behavior to be consistent moving forward.
Mike, you got something?
Hell yeah. In the spirit of getting you back to where you need to be, I want to say two things. One, music is therapy. Two, I believe in the power of mantras, of affirmations, if you will. And I've written some of my lyrically favorite affirmations. The first one is so important. You must hop up out your bed, turn your swag on, take a look in the mirror and say, what's up? Yeah, we getting money. And I want you to do that every morning. And then you're a paper chaser. You got your block on fire, remaining a G. Word to Juvenile. And last, but most importantly, not least, the worst damage that is done is at the end of that relationship and then after that person is gone. Because it's really rare that the people that cut you are staying around to change your bandages. That help's not coming. But until you get to that point where you love yourself again and trust yourself again, I want you to play this song by Cleo Soul that says, know you are loved even when you don't love yourself, because that is okay. That is okay. I love you. And for that reason, I'm rooting for you. I know exactly where you are because I've been there. But what you want to make sure is that you heal first so you don't bleed all over the next human. Thank you.
Kitty.
I got a little time?
Yes.
I got a little time? That was good. Just to add, I'm just adding at this point, because I've been in that situation. I've made a lot of stupid decisions in my life. One of the ways that you can rebuild trust in yourself after you stayed in a situation for too long is identifying where you were not trustworthy. And I say that because when I look back over my life and all the mistakes that I made in relationships I stayed in, I wasn't trustworthy when I was desperate. I wasn't trustworthy when I had a fear of abandonment. I wasn't trustworthy when I had a fear of rejection. I wasn't trustworthy when I was lonely. I wasn't trustworthy when I was under the influence. Those are the moments that I look back and I say, I wasn't trustworthy in those moments, and I deal with those things right there. If I have a fear of abandonment, I need to deal with that fear of abandonment so that way I can know I can trust myself in the future. If I know that I have moments where I'm a little too desperate, or maybe I pedestalize romance, those are things that I have to address. And the more I address those things, the more I identify and I recognize, I address those things and I work through, as Kara said, I do the actions, I change these things. The more I do that, then I start to see the signs and I start to see the proof that I am trustworthy and I can trust my own judgment. But it comes a lot with just looking back and reflecting. And a lot of times we try not to reflect because it's uncomfortable when we do. We got to face our truth. But when you reflect on it, then you say, okay, I know now, whenever I feel that I'm about to start operating in that fear of abandonment, I pull back. As Kira was saying, I discern, I change it so that way I'm not operating in that fear or that deficit that I have.